All right, let's go ahead and jump into these best setups for this upcoming week. I have three pairs that I'm looking at, and I think I would say two that I'm on the sidelines. I'm on the fence with those, but we'll go over that in this video, of course. First one is GBPJPY. This one looks really good. This is my top pair for the week. Coming into the week, you see that we are bearish. This is the lower low, and this is the lower high. Right, it should be super easy to tell. Price was bullish, but we ended up breaking this area. So we're now bearish. Just simply made a lower high and a new lower low. So all I'm looking for is for price to make a new lower high and then continue to make a lower low, hopefully. Or just look for price to wick into this area on the weekly and then continue to push down. As you see, we do have a area of interest here with multiple touches. We have one touch, two, let me get this alert out of the way. One touch, two, three, four, and five. So valid area of interest on the weekly. When we jump down to the daily, we see that we are bearish as well. This is the lower high, and this is the lower low. So weekly and daily are both bearish. Y'all know I love that. EMA is above on both the daily and the weekly. Above price when I say above. And you know I love that as well. So this is setting up to be a A+ setup for me. If you want to grade your trades, I usually don't, but I mentioned that if you guys wanted to, this is exactly what I would be looking for. Weekly and daily in sync, EMA above, and then everything else is just wait for a price to close into the area of interest, shift the structure, all that. So all I'm looking for is for price to come back, retest, close into this area, and then give us a push out. As I had mentioned on the weekly, price went bearish, made a lower high, lower low. So I'm just looking for it to make a new lower high to then make a lower low. So like I said, top pair for me this week. And as you see, this is also an area of interest that lines up with the weekly. So top pair for me. Of course, for my targets, I'll always be looking for either 1 to 2.5 or 1 to 3. Or if it blows past that, then definitely structure, which would probably be somewhere down here. So be on the lookout for that because I am definitely going to be waiting for that. Next pair is CADJPY. Let's jump to the weekly. This is bearish on the weekly as well, which is good. EMA is above. I wouldn't consider this. I mean, you can if you, nah, I wouldn't even consider this like an area of interest on the weekly just because we only have two touches, but this definitely is an area of interest on the daily. And you can see it right here. 1, 2, 3, and it continues left. But the weekly's bearish, daily is also bearish. Another setup that I love, right? This is the lower low, and this is the lower high. Area of interest. I wouldn't be surprised if we push up maybe more deeper. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. I like this area of interest, but I'll just have to reevaluate, see if there's another area, maybe somewhere over here. Just because, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if price does that. If it doesn't and we get our entry in that area of interest, I would take it. But if we don't, then I'll just might look for this new area, might not. So I'll just play it by ear. But we also have the EMA above, which is perfect. Another setup that's lining up perfectly for us, and another setup that I like. I still like GBPJPY better, but this is definitely the next pair. And with this one, only thing I'm waiting on is the same thing, for price to return back to it and then make a new lower high and then hopefully make a new lower low. So CADJPY, love it. I'll be looking for it. And the last one that I'm definitely looking for is EURNZD. Now this one, I feel like two things can happen. Either price can come down, wick this area, and then shoot up, or we could see a new week or this upcoming week where price closes inside of it. So this one, I don't like it as much as GBPJPY or CADJPY, but I do think that price is eventually heading to the upside. As you see, we are bullish, higher high, higher low, and we have a strong area of interest on the weekly, 1 touch, 2, and 3. So that's all good. Same thing for the daily. Price is bullish. we have this higher high up here, and we have the higher low. Let's just put it down here. But regardless, if you want, you could put it up here because the two candles, it's up to you. Regardless, we're bullish. So strong area of interest on the daily as well. One touch, 2, 3, 4, 5 lines up with the weekly, which is perfect. This EMA on the daily is currently above price, but to be honest, with this EMA on the weekly under, I think there's a more likely chance that price ends up pushing back up and that it uses that EMA to do it. And of course, targets as everything 1 to 2.5, 1 to 3. After that, it's just depending on where structure's at. But I do like this pair. Not my favorite, definitely third on the list, but definitely be on the lookout for this one. Now, for the ones that I'm on the fence with, it would have to be AUDNZD and EURAUD. So let's go over those real fast. AUDNZD I like because we did close out of this range, not range, but like we closed above these candles that were previously acting as resistance, which is good, right? Price is bullish. On the weekly, price is bullish, bearish, which means that we have the 4-hour in sync. Now, the reason you see this note here is because I feel like with this one, we would have to wait and see for price to continue to push up before seeing it come back, give us that retest, and then go up, right? Because it could do the same thing that is done multiple times. Close above the area of interest, then drop. Close above the area of interest, then drop. Close above the area of interest, then drop, right? So we could see that happen, and I don't want to risk that. So I think the best bet for us is just to wait to see how the next candle plays out and just go from there. Or if you want to be risky, you don't even have to wait for the candle closure. Once you see that this candle is opening, right? I'm definitely expecting a pullback into this area. You get a shift of structure and engulfing, hopefully enter on the wick, and then hopefully price ends up pushing back up for the rest of the day. So those are two options. Again, I think I'm gonna just wait for GBPJPY just because it's a more safer option. I'm not trying to risk, the account or anything like that, but that is a viable option if you want to do it. Let's look at the 4-hour. 4-hour bullish as well. Love the way that this market structure is looking. Right, higher high, just looking for a higher low, potentially enter to then take price up. So I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to do that, but that is what I'm seeing on AUDNZD. And EURAUD is the last pair that I am on the fence with. Price is still bullish in my opinion from this weekly time frame, but I do want to point something out here on the weekly. Look at this area that I have in between the lines. 1 touch, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches, right? We can consider that a strong area of interest that we could see price potentially use as support. Not only that, we have this weekly EMA that price could potentially use as support as well. Now, for the daily and the 4-hour, I have a sell bias just because we did break structure and it is currently bearish. This is how we look. This is the lower high and this is the lower low. So what I would be expecting is for price to come back, retest this area that it just broke, right? So it looks like this. Retest this area that it just broke and then respect it to continue down. However, I don't want to risk selling right into a potential support zone. This is the line that I just showed y'all on the weekly. So if we was to take a trade, we could potentially, If we was to take a trade, we could potentially see price react from this area. So I think the best thing for us to do would be for us to wait until the daily closes under and then gives us a retest into that area. Or this could be a trade for next week and see if we get a weekly candle that closes under. Because if a weekly candle closes under, I think that we'll have a better chance of price respecting that area as resistance. And then we could definitely look for that retest and then continue to push down. But again, this is up to you guys if you want to take it. I'm just letting you guys know my thought process. This is also a strong area of interest on the daily. 1 touch, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it continues left as well. and the daily is bearish, as well as the 4-hour. So this is the lower low, and this is the lower high. So apart from the three that I first showed y'all, these two, as I mentioned, I'm on the fence with. I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to jump in it. If you are going to jump in any trade out of these two, I would suggest AUDNZD, waiting for that shift of structure and engulfing as Sunday starts and goes into Monday. I just feel like price is going to continue to buy up, but as I mentioned, we could see price not buy up, could fake you out, and we could get a red candle. So those are the pairs that I'm looking to trade this week. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Before you get out of here, be sure to click that thumbs up button, and of course in the comments let me know what you guys are trading, if our pairs are similar, if they're different. I'll check out your pairs also. You know what I'm saying, I might have missed something. But with that being said, y'all be safe, have a blessed night, let's go be great, and let's go get some money out the market this week. I'll catch you on the next video.